I think we will get started. And again, a warm welcome to everyone. My name is Charlene Lambert, and I'm with the Women Entrepreneurship Platform based in Brussels. And we are offering today's seminar in collaboration with the European Microfinance Network. The topic today is Unlocking Opportunities, Microfinance 101 for women entrepreneurs, and we have a special focus today on the Balkans. I'm the treasurer of the Women Entrepreneurship Platform, and I'm really honored to chair this session today. And we're so pleased to be co-hosting this session with EMN, the European Microfinance Network. And I would like to extend special thanks to Marie-Clémence Endur and Marie Vial, who are both with the European Microfinance Network, and for their excellent support in the preparation of this webinar. And thanks also to my colleagues at WEP, Gladys Chopin and Moritz Bruching, and who are with us today, and our president, Grazia Rendo, and I'd like to thank them for their support. I have a few housekeeping notes. This session is being recorded, and we will share the recording and presentations afterwards. So if you do not want to be in the recording, just turn off your video, or we can also talk to you afterwards if you have any questions. Please keep your microphones muted during the presentation to avoid any background noise. And we would like to encourage active participation. So following the presentations, we will open the floor to Q&A sessions. So feel free to submit your questions either in the chat at any time or when we have the Q&A after each presentation. And so we're looking forward to getting started. Microfinance for women is a timely topic, and we are thrilled to have such a diverse audience with us today, including women entrepreneurs, consultants, startups, financial institutions, and other stakeholders who share a common interest in improving access to finance for women-led businesses. Women across Europe and beyond frequently encounter unique challenges on their entrepreneurial journey. And one of the main problems that we've identified is the access to financial resources. Microfinance plays a crucial role in bridging the gap and providing small-scale loans and financial services tailored to the needs of women-led businesses. So today's webinar will provide an understanding of microfinance and how it works, insights into the opportunities it offers for women entrepreneurs with a particular focus on the Balkans, and practical advice on accessing microfinance services in the Balkans. And it's my, when I started getting into the microfinance topic, I was surprised to learn how each country in Europe has its own microfinance institutions and regulations. And so for this reason, we are focusing each time we have these webinars on two countries to kind of compare and contrast what's being done. We would like to start by introducing the two organizations that are collaborating to produce the webinar. And so I will be telling you something about the Women Entrepreneurship Platform, followed by Marie-Clémence, who will present the European Microfinance Network. So could I have our presentation, please? So just going to. So the agenda is for this part of the workshop and seminar is I'll just telling you a little bit about WEP, what are the goals, the pillars for growth, and facts and figures, just some highlights about women's entrepreneurship, and talking about the EMN and WEP collaboration. So what is WEP? WEP is a nonprofit organization, an AISBL, which is a registered international nonprofit in Brussels, in Belgium. And our mission is to represent, support, raise the profile, and advocate on behalf of women entrepreneurs to European institutions. We do have ECOSOC status, which allows us to connect with the United Nations Economic and Social Council, and to actively engage with them and their bodies on aspects related to women's entrepreneurship. So we are connected to a global network. We are run by a professional secretariat, Ryden's Public Affairs, and Maris Brooking is in the audience today. Thank you, Maritz, for all that you do for our organization. And we have 4 board members from Finland, Hungary, Italy, and the Netherlands. Our members represent national women's entrepreneurship organizations from across Europe, and we know that there are more than 10 million women entrepreneurs in Europe, but still only about a third of all entrepreneurs are women. And we also know from our own experience that women's entrepreneurship as a topic is supported by a broad range of political parties. We've spoken to many parties, and they all can find a way to support us. Next slide, please. So what are the WEP goals? Our goals are to bring like-minded organizations from across Europe together to exchange best practices and information. We want to promote female entrepreneurship at the EU level to ensure that more women choose to become entrepreneurs. And we want to be the first point of contact for policymakers, politicians, and groups interested in this topic. Finally, we want to inform and inspire why women entrepreneurs are important for our economy and society. And the next slide. Our pillars for growth are 5 points that we think are the most important for ensuring that women entrepreneurs prosper. These are government policies that need to be tweaked or changed, access to innovation, access to finance, which is the topic of today's webinar, access to education and training, and networks. And the problem is that women have traditionally, for centuries, been held back to become work first of all, and to become entrepreneurs. So we have to focus on these kinds of topics to ensure that women entrepreneurs will be able to succeed. Next slide, please. Access to finance and financial security are among the most important areas of concern for women entrepreneurs. There have been studies done on this topic, and it remains the most important challenge for women-led businesses. One of the areas, venture capital, is in 2024, there were fully female-founded teams in the UK that received just 1.8% of the estimated 9 billion euros in equity investment, while all male teams secured over 86%. This is a shocking statistic that we are working to improve. Research indicates that female-led tech teams generate 35% higher return on investment than all male teams, and we need to have everyone on board to contribute their creative ideas and energy to solving the problems we're facing. And that's another reason why we want to see more women entrepreneurs. I'd like to say just a few words about the collaboration between the European Microfinance Network and WEP. We are looking to benefit from our policy alignment on important topics for both organizations, and this webinar is an example of that alignment. We can provide synergy to boost potential for innovative solutions. We are looking for partnership for events at the Parliament and other locations in Brussels. We want to use joint research on topics of mutual interest. We want to collaborate on EU calls and any other opportunities we can find to support each other. So the last slide is thank you for joining us again. And I like to remind everyone that the European Commission, in their groundbreaking study of 2014, stated that female creativity and entrepreneurial potential are an underexploited resource of economic growth and new jobs that should be further developed. Encouraging the creation of more women-led businesses will not only bring fresh and creative business ideas, but will also empower the role of women in society and create new sources of prosperity and jobs. So I would like to thank everybody, and I have here our contact details. Feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to introduce Marie Clémence Endur, who will be giving you information about the European Microfinance Network. Take the floor.
Thank you, Charlene. Good morning, everybody. Today I am going to introduce to you the European Microfinance Network and define what microfinance means in Europe. So, Yemen is the European Microfinance Network, created more than 20 years ago, and we gather 90 members across 25 countries in Europe. Our role is to promote microfinance as a tool to fight social and financial inclusion. So, microfinance within the European Union cover all activities oriented to provide access to financial services to people that are excluded from the traditional financial market. It mainly targets self-employed individuals, micro and social enterprises, and people who are socially and financially excluded. Typically, these borrowers have little or no collateral, no credit history, or lack experiences that banks would normally require. So microfinance supports them through two types of services. The first one is a financial product with business loan or personal loan. Business loan for the creation or expansion of income generating and job creating activities or micro enterprises, and personal loans that you have to distinct from consumer loans, because the goal of a personal loans is to generate a future revenue. And of course, no financial services like business and personal trainings, mentoring, coaching, and creating network opportunities. As you said at the beginning, Charlene, women in the among our priorities in Yemen, we focus on women entrepreneurs. And as you mentioned at the beginning, 1/3 of the entrepreneurs are women in the EU. And access to finance remains a critical barrier for women entrepreneurs. And microfinance can offer targeted financial solution to bridge this gap. According to our last survey report, we can see that 42% of the clients are women for the microfinance institution, and 64% of women of MFIs cater to rural clients, which represent 40% of active borrowers. And 29% of MFIs serve migrants, who constitute 26% of their clients. So, to conclude, if you have something to retain to all of my presentation, is the objective of the microfinance is social and financial inclusion, by creating the condition for this target group to create their own businesses, finance their professional training, and improve their chances to access the job market. Thank you, Charlene, and I give you the floor.
Thank you so much, Marie-Clémence. That was a short presentation, but I can say personally, and for WEP, our collaboration is really amazing, and it's all because of Marie-Clémence and her colleague Marie Vial, who have really supported this collaboration. So we're going to move along now, and we have our first speaker, and we're so pleased to introduce Heriola Spayou. Heriola has over 23 years of experience in strategic planning, retail banking and marketing, and organizational development in the banking and financial sectors. And she has led several important transformational projects, including in 2014 as on the Supervisory Council and the management of NOA. NOA is a non-bank financial institution in Albania, and it was founded by USAID. And during these 11 years in microfinance, she has focused on protecting NOAA's long-term mission in providing financial support to the micro and small entrepreneurs, farmers and agrotourism, families, and others that aim to improve their life and grow their businesses in the spirit of advocacy and promotion of the role of microfinance in the Albanian economy. So I'm delighted to have Herjola Spayu with us today, and I'd like to offer you the floor, Spayu, Herjola.
Thank you, Charlene, and thank you to all the organizers, especially for a big thanks to the European Microfinance team that it's all the time being engaged in such important topics and with a special focus for the Western Balkan regions. I have prepared a short presentation for the audience today to demonstrate what NOA is in Albania and what is the role that it plays and the position in the microfinance network, but also its contribution in the Albanian economy. From the other side, I made some examples of demonstrating how microfinance it is being supported. It's being supportive for so many years to the women entrepreneurs, not only in financing, but also to the creation of the new jobs, employment, and definitely to the impact that we give every day to the financial independence and empowerment of the women, especially in Albania. Marie, if you can help me to go to the next slide. And to the next, for the audience, NOA, it's one of the oldest non-bank financial institutions operating in the Albanian market. It's a 26 years of history and contribution to the economy. As Charlene mentioned, it started as a non-for-profit NGO organization from USAID back in 1998 with the target to support mainly the rural areas of Albania. It was exactly a few years after the communism and the main difficulty at that time, it was for the population and for the enterprises to start thinking in a capitalism period, starting new businesses from public property concept to go to a private property concept and to regenerate the entrepreneurial spirit in the population. So companies and entities like NOA were very crucial, especially in the rural areas. I don't know how many of you have visited Albania today, which is completely very different, but logistic in 1990, back in 1998 was not the same. Going even to the most, I would say, closest villages of the capital, it used to take even 2 hours of drive. So it was quite very difficult to provide even the access to finance. And therefore, the microfinance institutions did quite well, I would say, an excellent job back at that time. And they continue to be a success story for the Albanian economy. Currently, NOA is one of the biggest institutions with 30 branches over all Albania and 350 employees. We have reached around 110 million euros portfolio at the end of 2024, by serving active customers more than 18,000. In fact, in the long history of NOA, we have served more than 170,000 customers in Albania. Our average loan size has increased gradually throughout the years, so it has reached around 6,000 euros. Again, it is exactly like the average of the GDP per capita of Albania. And we have quite a well-distributed loan portfolio amongst businesses and families, individuals. A special focus for us, as it is since the inception, remained agriculture sector that we serve in a continuous way in Albania. We have chosen to endorse a slogan like human finance because our job, independently of the development of the country, the channels we serve the customers, but also how modern we become in terms of technology, it's a face-to-face job. So we continue to have the face-to-face and hand-on-hand practice of work with all our customers in all our daily operations. In the next slide, please, Marie. I will not remain here, but it has been quite a long history and quite a change throughout this history. What I want just to trigger it is that NOA, apart from being a microfinance institution focused on the low-served customers, financial inclusion, financial education, has all the time tried to be an innovator in the country in order to improve the financial access. We have been the first institution to introduce the work in tablets with our loan officers back in 2015. It was not just to follow the trend of digitalization, but it was to facilitate the job of our people and to faster process the customer loan requests independently of the amount. We were the first institution to try to increase funding source in the local market. We issued a private bond back in 2017 in the local currency, and we repeated that with a public larger bond in 2023 in order to differentiate a little bit the source of funding and to show to the market that we can do we go alongside the developments and the trends. I know that microfinance has changed a lot, and all the institutions have changed a lot because it's the market that it is driving us. We were small, serving mainly to informal customers, small amounts. Mainly the job was performed on the family basis. Now, a lot of microfinances, and especially in Albania, are well structured with clear corporate governances, serving also to bankable customers, but in a very fast way, in order to be more, to impact more in the job creation and the employment of employees. We also practically have been the first Albanian institution to get a regional expansion since 2023. We are also present in Kosovo with a subsidiary of our company because we believe strongly that we can multiply further our business model in the Balkan region. Next slide, thank you. We provide our services in 3 channels in our branch, but in a digital way with tablets in the field from our loan officers, with a digital branch, online loans to businesses and individuals, and through our business partners network, which is we promote the selling of the products, mainly business products, to the different retailers and agromechanics companies on their sites. Thank you, Marie, for the next slide. And microfinance, I'm proud to say that apart from being a success story in Albania, we never had a failure in microfinance institution for 30 years of experience in the Albanian market. They have grown, and currently the total loan portfolio of all the microfinance institutions has reached to be 10% of the total financial sector in Albania. It's a diverse market. Apart from lending institutions, we have also factoring, leasing companies, we have payment institutions, so it's quite a diverse and complementary market itself. We finance more than 360 million euros every year to our customers, and our financing goes to more than 75,000 customers per year. We are the largest supporters for agriculture sector, and recently we have started to be a large supporter for tourism and agritourism in Albania. Because of our nature in being in the field and operating with small branches, we cover 100% of the geography of the Albanian territory. Definitely, despite of the efforts and investments required, MBFIs are also leaders in Albania for endorsing ESG and digitalizations, which is rarely seen by other companies, even from the banking sector. The whole microfinance sector, it's dedicated to serve to all the segments. Mainly their focus is micro businesses, family businesses, agriculture as well, which compose the majority. But in the recent years, we have started to finance also individuals for house renovation, green products, startup needs, in order to complement and to respond to the market demand. I've tried to just compare some trends when it comes to the financial empowerment and independence of women in Albania, either in the overall market, but compared to the microfinance trends. In Albania, 51.7% of the labor workforce is composed by women I would say, to the age that it is eligible for being considered as a workforce. When compared to EU or globally, the trends are not far away, to say the truth. So from the recent statistics that we got from the global engagement of women in the workforce, it stands around 55%. 31.8% of the entrepreneurs in Albania are women. 35% of the managerial positions are kept by women, which goes closely to the European standards in all private and public sectors. So these data are for both sectors. Our Prime Minister said with pride that 35.7% of the parliamentary seats are kept by women, and the majority of the state ministries are owned by women in Albania. When we compare to microfinance, I will go slightly back, Mary, sorry. When we compare to microfinance, the data that we have are even better for the employment of the women. So when we speak about the microfinance institutions, women compose 55 to 65% of the jobs, depending on each institution. 45.6% of the CEOs in MBFI's institutions are women today, versus 9%, which is the case in the banking sector. And 47% of managerial positions in the microfinance institutions are kept by women. These are the oldest data, in fact, 2023, that we have available. In the next slide, I wanted to focus a little bit on how we finance and what's the composition of our loan portfolio when it comes to the women financing. I have to say here, we don't have very satisfactory ratios in Albania, even though we work a lot, but still we remain beyond the global track records. In Albania, only 53% of the women have a bank account versus 96%, which is the standard in EU, the average of the EU countries. In Albania, 46% of the loans are given to women. I couldn't find that ratio for the EU, in fact. And in microfinance globally, the ratio of the women borrowers stands at close to 60%. In Albania, on average, this ratio, it's, I would say, close to 50% lower, so 38%. But we have to consider, and in the right graph, you have how it went, the development on the microfinance institutions when it comes to the percentage of the women clients in the last 5 years. We have to consider in Albania that still we have quite a big gap when it comes to the social and cultural norms, even within the country, urban and rural areas. I shared with the panel in the preparatory work that Albania is very nice, a very beautiful country to be visited. I hope you had any chance to visit in the recent years, but you will see only the beautiful part. You will see the seaside, you will see the urban areas, you will see the young generation. You will miss to see the rural areas when we have still quite a lot of efforts to do to incentivize the women farmers to get independent and to start a new farm. The young ladies, the young girls in the rural areas to go to studies and to get independent professionally and later financially, and not to get married 18 years old. We have such cases still, but in the villages that tourists miss, but we see when we go even to our customers. So this is quite a big component, or the biggest factor, I would say, why the penetration of financial services, it is lower.
Excuse me, Herjula, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up maybe
Yes.
in another minute or two.
Okay. So I just wanted to show what NOAA composes for women employment and financing. So the data are here. We have 61% of the total staff by women. Here you have the management team of NOAA. The majority, we want it or not, even though our work is in the field, are women. and very eager and dynamic women. When we go to the financing of the women, 30% of our business loans goes to women entrepreneurs, and the performance of those loans is extremely good. And 38 of the individual loans are provided to mothers or girls that want to invest in improving their wealthiness. In the next slide, what we can do and what we have done as NOAH, first of all, it's increase the awareness on financial products and make them accessible, promote the financial independence more through self-employment and getting a job not depending on the husband or on the father, promote job creation for the sectors that employ high numbers of women, especially in Albania, like tourism, accommodation, and food and apparel, create educational sessions in field on entrepreneurship, savings and financing tools, and definitely enlarge the scope of the products and the package of products to be more family-oriented products, inclusive also for the new generation. I've brought also some cases of our customers, women customers, that have made some unique businesses in Albania, from the ski resort to the construction of the boats, that not only represent the entrepreneurial spirit, but also play quite an important role in employing the women in their specific regions, because these businesses are located outside the urban areas. And I think I finished with my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hariola. That was an amazing overview of the microfinance situation for women in Albania, and it's very inspiring to learn about all that you're doing and all that the women in Albania are striving to do. And I think I'm sure that if people haven't been to Albania yet, they will start thinking about, when is the next time, the best time to go there. I've been to Albania and it was amazing, I have to say. So thank you so much. I think what we'll do is go directly to have Elma give her presentation, and then we'll have a kind of a joint Q&A at the end, so for everybody. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Elma Zukic, who is the current president of the Association of Microcredit Organizations in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And she's board member of the Microfinance Center and has over 23 years of experience in banking and microfinance. She served as the president of the AMFI Bosnia-Herzegovina for the past 6 years, driving strategic initiatives aimed at financial inclusion and empowerment, particularly for women and underserved entrepreneurs. And she has also actively contributed to the establishment of the Alliance for Microfinance Cooperation in the Western Balkans, which is a collaborative platform fostering regional knowledge, innovations, and advocacy. So Elma will present the microfinance landscape and the situation of women entrepreneurship in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the floor is yours, Elma.
Thank you. Good morning, dear colleagues, dear friends. It is true honor to be part of today's discussion dedicated to the women's entrepreneurship and financial inclusion. First, I would like to sincerely thank the European Microfinance Network and the Women Entrepreneurship Platform for providing this important space of exchange knowledge and inspiration. As a woman who has worked for over, as you already tell, over 2 decades in the financial sector, and as the president of the AMFI, Association of Microfinance Network in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I constantly advocate for the rights of all those who are in need, for every person whose voice needs to be heard, whose opportunities needs to be unlocked. Today, we highlight the importance cause of women's economic empowerment. But our mission, I think, is broader. It is about ensuring dignity, inclusion, and equal chance for all. Bosnia and Herzegovina's microfinance sector was born out of necessity in the after-war period. Now, I think it's around 3 decades, a period that deeply affects women. Women heads are of households, widows, survivors of violence, displaced women, and unemployed young women were among the most vulnerable. Microfinance was and remains a way to give back them hope and opportunities, not only in Bosnia, all around the Western Balkans, as my friend from Albania already underlined it. Please, next slide. About the landscape in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I want to give you the few very important things. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, we have 31 licensed microcredit organizations. Not just, we have even more non-traditional ones, but the licensed microcredit organization more than 30. Also, we support our clients with over than 700 branches across the countries. Today, microcredit sector and landscape of Bosnia and Herzegovina is strong and dynamic. The sector employed over 2,300 and more people, of which of them are 61% are women. Sometimes we calculated with over the 60, but now in this moment it is over than 61% of women. I want particularly to highlight that 59% of the total portfolio of the microcredit sector in Bosnia and Herzegovina are supported for the women borrowers. It's a powerful signal of trust and investment of women's economic potential today here in the Bosnia. Also, the microcredit organization in Bosnia managing over 800 million euro in assets. Our institutions provide to our clients, to our women clients, not only financial services, we provide also non-financial services to over 280,000 direct users. Indirectly, in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we support more than 20% of the population, which means supporting households of 3 persons with each loans. Microfinance is not a small initiative, I think. It is a movement now in this moment that is transforming lives. My question is why? Always to my potential speakers, why we are so important? Because on the other hand, the question is who will support our clients if we not support them? Especially those who are in needs, and many of them are still in needs. My colleague mentioned that in Albania there is still a huge portfolio of underserved women which are still don't have even the current account. In Bosnia, it is a case that only 66% of people are using the current account. Can you imagine how low percentage is of the women then? If we comparing to the European Union, that is, as I remember, more than 19% of them are using a current account as a unique tool for any person in financial inclusion. Next slide, please. When we look inside the sector itself in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the presence of women is also still inspiring in the microcredit organization. 39% of the microcredit organization in Bosnia and Herzegovina are led by the women directors. It's a good percentage, but we are not satisfied at all until we will have the equal 51 to 49. 61% of the entire workforce are women in the microcredit organization. 31% of women hold a top management position, including executive board members and heads of departments. 37% of the women are in the middle management roles. It's such as branch manager and unit supervision. As you can see, the situation in the microcredit sector are really good comparing to the rest of the sector in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Even the president of the Association of the Microfinance Institutions are a woman for itself. These figures shows that the microfinance in Bosnia and Herzegovina is not only empowering women clients, but also cultivating women leaders. Next slide, please. However, when we take a broader look, challenges remain. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, comparing with the European Union, only 38.1% women participate in the workforce. The gender pay gap remains between 17 to 25%, significantly higher than the European average of around 12%. Less than 30% of leadership roles held by a woman. Yet, in one of the area women are shining in this moment is that 60% of all university degrees in Bosnia and Herzegovina are held by the women. So we have the potential, so we need to use it. Next slide, please. Key barriers of the women entrepreneurs. Despite strong achievements, women entrepreneurs continue to face persistent barriers. Many research show us that are still very limited access to the collateral because of the history, because it's our history. It's normal that mostly men are owner of the land. Lower leaves of digital and financial literacy. Even if we are very educated, we still need to be more focused on this digital and financial literacy. Also, the weaker business networks, especially in the rural areas. Women are mostly dedicated to the family, to support the family initiatives, mostly staying at house still. Not so good in the business network. Also, gender-neutral financial services that are still provided broadly, they are not very supported for the woman. We need products specialized for the woman. Addressing these barriers is not just the matter of fairness. It is I think, economic imperative in this moment to have a better picture and to really support the woman on the field. Please, next slide. What Amphi do in this moment, in the past, and what we will do in the future? Amphi is, as I mentioned already, is Association of Microfinance Network, and we are supporting all of our microfinance institutions in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Amphi is very deeply committed to closing these gaps. And how we do it? We are proud also to give you the feedback that we are now in this moment developing ESG and gender inclusive KPI dashboard with support of our partners. I think they are also today with us with the EFSE support to systematically track and address gender gaps. So, we must start measuring everything, not just gender gaps, but with highlighting these gender gaps to know where we are now in this moment and where we need to be in the future. What is our commitment? Amphi, together also with our Albanian colleagues, play a key role in establishing the Western Balkan Microfinance Alliance last year. united 6 countries to advocate for a better access to finance for women and youth. Also, through our partners, we are included in the WiFi Code initiative with our Central Bank of Bosnia and Herzegovina, supported by the EBRD, where we want to start the measuring and somehow to challenging also the others how to expanding gender smart financial solutions in the country. Next slide, please. I would also like to share a brief reflection. Just yesterday, I'm not very happy and not very proud to tell you these things, but yesterday Bosnia and Herzegovina missed the opportunity to adopt a new criminal law proposal aimed at better protection of the woman. It's disappointing, but let us not lose focus. As you can see on the slide, the last 7 years, more than 60 women lose their life, unfortunately. So we need to push more. Today we celebrate what we are building, concrete, sustainable financial path of women employment to empower them. Thanks to the tireless work of the microfinance institutions and the commitment partners across the region. Thank you to all of you. Please, I would like to conclude that microfinance is not just about the access the money. It is about the giving women the tool to grow their business and transform their communities, to support their families. When we empower only one woman, we truly empower entire community. Let's continue working together to ensure that finance works for women, for their businesses, for families, and for the future. And thank you for your attention. So please, and I'm at your disposal to give you more feedback.
Thank you so much, Elma. That was an amazing presentation, about Bosnia and Herzegovina and what you're doing there and able to accomplish. I'm sure that microfinance has contributed a lot to the and to the people and to your society. So very impressive. Are there any questions in the chat? We have some time for a Q&A, and I'm just wondering if there are any questions. Gladys, are there any questions in the chat?
No questions in the chat, but then that means that the floor is open for
Great.
anyone, so feel free to jump in.
Thank you. So, does anyone have any questions? We have some time now, and maybe if you don't have a question, or if you have a question, just raise your hand, either physically or using the hand icon. And otherwise, I would ask a question. I have, I just am amazed at this area of microfinance, supporting women and people in your communities. And I'm wondering what you see as the future of microfinance, how you think things will go, and also how the collaboration with EMN has supported you in this regard. Do you want to go ahead, Elma, and then we'll ask Harola the same question?
Sorry, for the moment I lose the connections. You ask us how we have support of with the EMN and Amphi. Only I can hear.
EMN, and also how you see things going in the future.
I hope we will have even I cannot say better, because we have really good communication, especially starting from the last year. But in this 2025, we start very good. This is important discussions and a very important collaboration. And I hope that through some European Commission, through the SIFTA, we will be supported by the European Commission in gathering for the Western Balkans in November. I hope so. It's just starting. Of course, we will support our partners, European Microfinance Network, also in this very interesting topic on the conference in 2025. This collaboration is very strong, and we will hope that together in next years we will have joint projects to be more supported, not just the Bosnia, I would rather tell the Western Balkans collaboration, because we have, you know, the same issue, the same questions in the future. So probably it would be better if the whole market will be organized in a better way.
Thank you, Alma. How about you, Heriola?
I'm a little bit biased to answer to the question because I'm a board member in Yemen. So, but from the other side, I can really appreciate and see the works from internal. And definitely, I have to say that I appreciate a lot the efforts of the team, especially in terms of the advocacy and advocacy for important matters like the support of the women, and also the not only the financial, but I think it's more important the financial education of the women. Also the first webinar that it was for the European countries were very much interesting. So we have differences, but we find also common things, and this follow-up and the organization, it's quite well aligned. I really hope that these webinars will continue also in the future. It's one of the good things that COVID left back to us, so to have more online exchange of opinions, sharing of challenges, and addressing the opportunities all together as a sector. And definitely it's quite a very good help, the networking through the EMN. Because whatever we can do independently as institutions, the networks have the power by the end and can multiply the voices of each of us.
Thank you so much. And I wanted also to ask you more about the focus on rural women in Albania. And, the Women Entrepreneurship Platform is working now with a consortium on the Grass Ceiling Project, which is has to do with rural women and innovation and entrepreneurship. And rural women are really the foundation of the family farm. And I know that many women don't have any ownership of the farm. There are a lot of issues that they don't get paid for their work. And so for this reason, they want sometimes to start their own business. And you mentioned the, tourism businesses. And I wondered if you could talk a bit about that and how those small businesses are helping these rural women.
Yeah, one of the, I would say, one of the opportunities developed in the last years, especially for the women in the rural areas, it is related and strongly supported by the increase of tourism. We have seen a lot of women that have started to provide the small agro-tourism environments. So they have the farm and they have their house. They just get a loan to renovate slightly the house and make it refurbish 2 or 3 rooms for accommodation of tourists. This happens especially in the northeast Albania, but also on the south west as well. But southwest is more commercial. I prefer to speak about the Northeast because there is completely traditional. And we have a lot of foreign tourists to go there to sleep in the rooms, which are just renovated, so not new, but renovated in the old fashion. They wake up in the morning, and they find the breakfast there with the butter, which is of the house, the milk, which is of the house there, so of the farm. They go to pick up the cherries or other things in the farm, the tomatoes, the cucumbers. So this typology of small agro-tourism in Albania is being developed a lot. and we support it a lot because it is there in the house. You do normally the working in the farm, and you just accommodate or welcome some tourists to spend the nights there, like they are in the nature outside. So no modern at all environment, but just close to the nature typology. And this is quite an opportunity recently developed. From the other side, the increase of tourism in all the villages of Albania, in fact, there is a very nice program of the government. They have the program of the 100 villages that they are developing, and they want to make it, they have not only improved the logistic, but also the center of the villages, making a coffee shop, making a small shop when the people there can sell artisanal things and also the products from the house, like teas, for example, or I don't know, medical plants. So the tourists go there and shop from the farms, which is quite a very nice initiative, I would say, and it's improving a lot the number of the tourists in villages of Albania, but also increasing the cash flow. You know, the economy, it's moving, it's going around. Not speaking about the seaside area, because there the development of the tourism is giving life, not only in employing the women for cleaning, cooking, and everything else, but also the agriculture industry around these cities is being developed, and it is Albanian traditional food.
Fabulous. Thank you. I can't wait to go there.
Yeah, I will suggest you very nice places.
Elma, do you have any last words you would like to add before we close the session? Is there anything else you want to say or add?
Yes, thank you. Thank you to all of you. It is very important topic, and we don't need to stop on this. We must go further to have equal rights, you know, in everything, and let's support each other, especially to have a healthier future life for all of us. If we support only one woman, we support all of us.
Thank you so much. Marie, Marie Clémence, would you have any last words?
No, thank you, all of us. It was really interesting to learn about the Balkans and women entrepreneurs and microfinance. So thank you, Elma, and thank you, Hariola.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Invitation.
And I would just like to make a few last comments. The Women Entrepreneurship Platform is engaged with this topic of supporting women entrepreneurs, and we are looking to meet with MEPs and committees on topics that are important to all of us. We are also in touch with the European Commission, DG Grow, the European Economic and Social Committee, EGE, the European Institute for Gender Equality, and the COSME program, which is regarding competitiveness of enterprises and small and medium businesses. And our hope is that the new European Commission will recognize the importance of women entrepreneurs and continue to support and strengthen their initiatives. We know that gender equality is important, and we have a gender equality strategy now to promote gender equality in all areas, including entrepreneurship. We want to see more initiatives and funding to support women entrepreneurs and help with a focus on work-life balance to improve women's experience in their homes, for making it easier for them to start and run their own business. And networking and mentorship programs are also very important. We invite all of you to follow us, to follow WEP, and to join us. There are many opportunities. If you're an association of women entrepreneurs, you can become a member. We have other opportunities for small businesses and other nonprofits. So please join us in supporting women entrepreneurs. Thank you again for joining us today. We look forward to hearing from you. And if there are special topics that you're interested in, and we will be sending out very quickly a short survey and about the webinar, we would encourage you to please fill it in. It'll just take a few minutes. And we are working on another seminar, another webinar, probably in the end of June on 2 more countries. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.